But then the numbers they have.
Please rise and join me in saluting the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Counselor Bojorquez, Counselor Amity, Counselor McArthur, Counselor Taylor Schultz,
Here.
Counselor Thompson,
Here.
Mayor Rachel Lee.
Thank you. With that, we'll move into the consent agenda. We have the budget versus the actuals and the minutes of the 7-5 regular meeting and our work session. Have a motion to approve. I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed, please signify by saying no. Consent agenda passes. We will move into citizen comments and questions. This is an opportunity to present items that are not on the regular agenda. Please state your name and address and limit your comments to 3 minutes. For the Amity County Sheriff's Office report, I don't see a deputy here, but the annual report came out this past week. Did everyone? I think Nathan and I are both ready to take on any questions if there are any. Can
They're not here, but I was like, there's. Just good, but I'm going to see what we can change. Or it's just. We're having success, why are we having success?
I think we can ask to get just the answer straight from them. Last year, they kind of said that it's normal to see things pick up when they first come in. Everyone is just on the issue, and then once you see that control and establishment, things are kind of, you know, everyone sees that they're doing their job, that they're here, that they have a presence. But we can still ask just to get an explanation. And then I wanted to ask council if you'd like that report on the website.
No, I think the right version we make up the whole people better. As transparency, I think it would be good. I think so.
Say, it will be posted, they did tell me when they send it to me, that after our council meeting, they will be posting it to their website for the cities that they serve as well. So I can certainly like link it, or I can post the full report, I can link to their page, either way.
I think the link to their page would be fine. It's even more information that will be readily available.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
Anything else for the sheriff?
I was thinking for the annual report, I know it would be kind of nice to have the regular duty hours on there, like how many were actually performed. Not the, you know, real name deputy, but ones assigned to the enemy.
So like we have the particular hours of that contract that we need like actual accounting for.
I know that there's, you know, some shifts when we leave and vacations and things, it would be nice to have that.
So even,
It doesn't have to be on the annual report, but yeah, like the monthly one or something where we see whether that contract is being met.
that because I'm sure they're involving the same amount. Anything else for the sheriff office? I did not see a dig report come through, and I don't see anyone who did have one. So we're gonna move on to the regular, normal citizen comments and questions. Do we have any in the audience this evening? And anyone online? With a citizen comment or question? Nobody's online? Then I would say no. We will move on to old business, of which there is none, and into new business. Before we start with item A, I want to say that there's been an addition to the agenda, so we'll do that as a B. The first item of new business, though, is check signers, which is similar to last month, agenda item, but differs. So this is the money market and the city's trustee instruction for our USDA funds. Being held at the banks, they're having a separate account. And so that list of customers needs to be updated as well. Anything for staff to add on that item?
Move to update the list of authorized check signers on the city of Amity's first federal money market account to include Mayor Rachel King, Council President of Finance and Chair April Dyche, City Administrator Nathan Burke, and City Recorder Treasurer in Washington.
I have a motion and a second to update the list of authorized check signers on the city of Amy's first federal money market account to include Mayor Joe King, Council President and Chair April Dyche, City Administrator Nathan Burke, and City Recorder Treasurer Natasha Johnson. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please signify by saying no. Motion passes. And item B of new business, we have an application for a temporary OLCC license. This is a continuation. We saw that it was set from this business come before us a few months ago. And so it's just a request for, looks like 5 more days.
To approve the temporary liquor license application for Common Cup located at 516 South Grave Street, Suite 103.
I have a motion and a second to approve the temporary liquor license application for the Common Cup located at 516 South Trade Street, Suite 103. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please signify by saying no. Motion passes. We have department reports. Starting off with city administrator, and we have the water emergency and initial staff report, but I'll hand it over to Nathan.
Yeah, so definitely open to any questions on the water staff report. Brian Young informed me of a couple changes just in. I have the right name of Ed Blick, but the wrong organization. He's the director of the Office of Resilience and Emergency Management. Not the short one. So I have that wrong, but we'll get that fixed. Outside of that, if we ask any questions you want, the first update I have is with the SCA grant. This is the grant that is going to build or is going to build sidewalks in front of the Amity Elementary School. Basically along the north side of Rice Lane between the Merlot development, where there's currently a little bit of sidewalk, and basically go down the front of the elementary school and end with a corner that provides a crosswalk over to the south side of Rice Lane where there's already a sidewalk put in. So the cost estimates for that came back a little bit higher, but they're still within range. After talking with Keller, I mean, they're still within a reasonable amount. We are going to push forward with that on that north side of Rice Lane. Just for future awareness, there may be a supplemental budget item where we have to transfer a little bit more than we planned for out of the SPCs into our free fund to facilitate that construction. That's out there. The other thing, just by way of update, in our work session, I think Councilor Bojorquez mentioned the question about local improvement districts. So I just briefly put a little bit of information together, sent that out via email. If you haven't had a chance to look at it, fine today. But basically, there are lots of options for the city council to address sidewalks. Local improvement district is certainly an option that's been used elsewhere and could do well here. And I'm happy to pursue that further if people think that there's an interest there and would like to see more details on what it would look like in Amity. And then the last thing is just the mayor can help me remember some dates. We talked about putting together a joint session. I don't know if we want to know availability now.
Yeah.
For a joint session with the planning commission. So that we received a grant, I mentioned it in a brief report. We received a grant for $2,000 to facilitate extra planning services. And so Holly has recommended that we work together as the city council and planning commission to kind of work on the ideas of how Amity development will address psilocybin and then possibly short-term rentals as well.
And we look at the marijuana.
Yes.
Did we use that to also, jointly discuss the use?
Yeah, that's yeah.
Okay,
That
well, that's the short-term rental.
it is completely different, but that was part of the same conversation that Holly had.
Okay.
Or we had with Holly, is how many topics can we fit into just a few joint sessions? My first thought was the planning commission meets much less frequently than we do. They have their Monday in September, that might work for us to meet instead of, well, we're still going to meet that September work session. So it'd be, what day would they normally meet? It's Monday.
I believe it's the second Monday of September.
So the 11th. Yeah, we talked about September 11th or. I'm gonna put that up in the office.
We could also look at the week of like August 6th-ish.
My family was, my entire family was together. August, the 26th is Saturday. You're talking about the week following that or the week before?
The week before it.
Yeah.
I'll be out of town.
Yeah. The 11th. What time does the planning commission meet?
They usually meet at 6:30.
Or 6:30, sorry.
So Councilor Shields would be unavailable in for September meetings. What do your Mondays look like? September 11th. At 6:30.
That should work.
Anyone in strong opposition to that kind of date? And I think the planning commission then should have that. I mean, most likely availability, that's when their planning meeting would fall.
They should, yeah,
Okay.
assuming they don't have any agenda items come up themselves. I don't know of any.
September 11th at 6:30.
Yeah, and then they do need to meet and hold a meeting or a different topic, so we plan our next session for after that to start at 7 or 7:30.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Depends on how long we're planning on getting that meeting.
Well, as of now, there won't be anything for September because we have to have 30 days notice. We haven't had any applications on it. We would have had an application.
I just can't have meetings for later.
What we think we'll be able to start at 6:30. Nathan, will you let us all know if that's not going to work for us in the commission or we need to change?
Yeah.
I did. was on the administrator's report.
I don't know where to get it.
I just want to go back to the SCA grant. We were having a hard time remembering what the last council update was. And I think it was the decision to move it to the north side, right? On the school side. And so working with Keller, they brought a lot of options and it was dependent on what the school district was, wanted, what they were willing to work with right away basement and donation of lands. What would work best for them, what would work best for the community. So as of now, there's been multiple iterations, multiple price points talked about down. Where we've fallen will be a 7-foot sidewalk with a 5-foot, what's it called?
Landscape upper, essentially a grass strip, and the purpose of this grass strip would be to convey water. There would be inlets at the curb and gutter side to let the water flow off the street into the grass, where it would flow down to the storm drain manhole that we have on their furthest east, or furthest west driveway.
And then it's also a physical barrier between the sidewalks with the children and the and so that's where we landed, but it's kind of said this would think as it works through. So maybe we'll share further updates of that. Any questions for the city administrator? Saw the reporter's report. Any questions there or anything to add?
So I think Mayor King and Council Thomas will help you out National Night Out. Hoping for better turnout, but that's okay. And then reminder, August 16th, are we good?
It felt like this year, all the cities had either day before or the same day we had for National Night Out.
It's
Yeah, it's always the same night.
Okay.
Nash.
I never noticed that it was like right on the same day before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now-
It's the first Tuesday of August. Every year, no matter where you are. Well, thank you, Tasha and Mona and Nathan. There was not a huge turnout, so about 50 people.
I would say it's probably the smallest we've done.
But we were kind of debriefing on what could be different next year, and we really think live music is goal. And something, and just more promotion, talking about it, making it up. I think cities all around us are trying to do more and more and more, and while we're not in a position to be extravagant, we just want to build a new city.
Lots of hot dogs on burger. Only 40.
For the record, Mr. King also put the law of bodies, so I think that he was able to see it.
That's
Any questions for the reporter?
16 starts per session.
What's that?
Oh, the barbecue one. At the park.
That's
Yes.
I know, it's hard. Hard because my employees don't wanna go after hours, but, yeah, you know, also hard.
Public works reports? But I feel like we've seen recently.
I don't know. Definitely. We might have submitted it late.
I did have a question for you. Oh, sorry.
I'm just looking at that. I do not see the report.
Do you need stuff maybe in August or September? Or both?
It's gonna be on.
Or was it the hand stopping? Remind me?
The
Something.
surveys that we're gonna go out and,
What's
something else that was going out, actually, I wrote it down.
The Amity Day survey.
The Amity survey,
Have we-
and then there
Have
is,
one up yet?
no, so
Yeah.
we will bring that to this month's work session. Okay.
Okay. And the cleanup day.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out if it was August or
So we
September.
have to get stuff.
Something that I know is plans.
It would be the end of September, or the end of August.
What day would that be?
Yes, we will need help because it's also audit. I think that's why I asked for help. Yeah, because we'll have our auditors. So yeah, I will.
So
need-
you leave after.
Okay, so let's shoot for,
Like the 28th.
yeah, the calendar.
So probably.
I have to do it on August.
Checking about this,
Is that what we decided on? I don't know.
It depends on what day you actually do
So
it.
bills go out on Thursday, the 31st, so let's do, that day. The 31st. Does Thursday work, or does Wednesday work better for you guys?
Either one.
I could come Wednesday afternoon after our lunch.
Lunchtime on the 30th? Okay.
We plan to actually work that week.
I will, let you guys know at work session, I'm just trying to think, because I'll have to, print all that material.
Yeah,
The 31st, usually our auditor's leaving on that last day, so sometimes he doesn't come, or I know those first 2 days will be.
I think regardless of that week, you'll have some help.
Yeah.
Okay,
Whatever day
Perfect.
falls.
Keep 30th and 31st open, and we'll confirm when it gets closer to audit. Okay, perfect. Thank you for the reminder.
And then just going back to the public works report, Nathan and I spoke, so we're coming up on break 6 months, so he'll be getting his evaluation there, and I think by next month, we'll have a report on that as well. Limited, but still still. We have, was there a specific question for public works? Anyone wants to ask?
Just a reminder to reports.
We have our library reports, the engineering and billing. Questions on either of those?
I just had one on the attorney one, for our new, attorney of records. Were those charges because we could not use COG, or we did not use COG, or were those in addition to using COG, or what were those charges for?
So
I think
that
that's a good-
was, yeah, within Nathan's first couple of days, he
Yeah.
wasn't well aware of the hierarchy of calls. And
Gotcha.
so he had a legal question, he made a phone call.
Okay, so going forward, we may have differences there, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, going
Yeah.
forward, we will reach out to Bob.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, I was already working on several things for a month.
Yeah.
Let's reach out to Bob, he didn't know we had 2 different.
Yeah, that's fine. I just was wondering, I was like,
Yep.
okay, thank you.
And then afterwards, he was like, oh, there's 2 here.
I didn't know that.
But you didn't know that, of course, so that makes sense now.
We
One.
can't-
Truman had already reached out from local government law,
Yeah.
had already reached out to me to come introduce himself.
So it was.
That totally makes sense. I just was like, we were reviewing our agenda. I don't understand, but thank you, that makes total sense.
And then we'll move on to the city attorney planning billing report by the COG. So what I wanted to bring up when our interim update was here and they approved that short-term contract for the COG. I was the contact person, and if we went above and beyond that $25,000 limit, that needed approval. And so we got to the end of June where he had been here and got an invoice that tipped us over that $25,000 mark. Well, he had done the work. He was here, we needed everything in June. And so I just authorized him to stay on the last 3 days and get the work done. So I think as Tasha mentioned earlier, we hit about 23,000, and then we got this last invoice that you're seeing in the packet. Yeah, so it's closer to 30 than 25. But it was in the budget and
You need to, yeah.
did what needed to be done. I just wanted to, for the record. That's how that went. If there's no questions on the department reports, we will move on to business from the mayor and city councilors for the good of the order. Council President Dyche, do you have anything?
I have nothing else.
Hey, Council Bojorquez.
I don't have anything, but I do have a question. The grant that, we're all taking the final for, when do they have answers?
That's,
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I don't know
that
the
doesn't, like,
exact date, but
fall through the cracks, sorry.
yeah.
Okay.
Is that referring to the state parks? grant?
Yeah. You on that?
Yeah,
Okay. I just knew it.
I just know Rob did a lot of things, and I think a few grants, but so I didn't want to make sure that that's what we're thinking.
And on the topic of that grant, at National Night Out, it was brought to our attention, even though it's known fact, our park lacks ADA system. This path is one way that we're gonna be able to move forward with that, but it's just something to think about as we prioritize any improvements, is that it needs to be number one. So that our shelters are accessible, our bathrooms are more accessible. The playground right now is, you can get to it, but it's not inclusive to where a mobility device or limited mobility can use it. So just for the record, I would like to prioritize that as we move forward. Councilor McArthur, anything with a bit of a nothing to report? Councilor Shields? Councilor Thompson? No. Okay. Mayor's report and final comments. I just have a couple reminders. I believe everyone got the email, but on the 10th of this month, the League Board of Cities is having their small cities meeting in Sheridan. That's at 11, so I'll be attending that, but if anyone else is available, you can sign up through the LOC website for that to register. Tasha brought it up, that I have a city barbecue 1 to 3 on the 16th. And then our work session is that evening, so reminders that we were gonna bring a couple smart goals to discuss. And Amity Day survey questions, so 1 or 2 of each, and we can use that time to discuss and hash out a set of goals to the board. And then the following day on the 17th is the city county dinner, which the BMO County is hosting. This time, so that's in McMinnville at 6 o'clock, but we'll need the RSVP by the 11th. So if anyone's interested and able to go,
I haven't seen the plan.
I'll forward it to you.
Okay, because they just said it.
Yeah, the way we internally usually do it is we will let Tasha know, like our Tasha, she'll do it all at once, but this time they sent it only to us.
Okay, yeah. I'm like, saw it on the calendar, I'm like, I didn't see anything, and that's the rest.
So I'll forward that to you, but if anyone wants to go, let Tasha know, before the 11th. And then I will be going to that as well. My husband's joining me, and I think Nathan. And that's all I have for this evening. Anything else for the good of the order? Hearing none, I'll ask for a final motion of the night.
Oh, sorry, I had one. I had it in my notes too, that we were also doing questions for street lighting survey.
Street lighting survey,
Like,
within the same survey.
I thought so, but I don't know.
Okay,
We had talked about doing. Like a
yeah,
whole,
a way to,
yeah,
Just, if I can clarify really quick, what exactly is the goal? Is the street lighting survey meant to be like an inventory? Like, this is where lighting is good, this is where lighting is bad, where it can be improved.
the questions would be like, do you know any streetlights that are currently not working? Do you know of any specific intersections that need improved lighting? Like,
right,
just throw a couple of those in.
yeah,
So I think we probably could do a safe survey, different sections.
yeah.
Okay.
So it was just to kind of assess where might be improvement or something about it and still fix. So,
Thank you for bringing that back up, but no, I think we can incorporate it into this. Special person out.
And we just want to try to make sure. The pages for that.
So bring those questions to the work session as well. Anything else or any further questions? Do I have a final motion for the evening? I have a motion in a second to adjourn this meeting. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Any opposed, please signify by saying no. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
7:30 on the nose.
I'll email it and. Other parts on the work session and there. Like so.
If you don't mind bringing it to.
I mean, it's the 16th.
So now that we have.
You're off.
I don't think they're always, like, oh, like, something, don't follow it. Or it gives you.
And you learn at a time in the morning.
Right. Yeah, and then I'll just,
Yeah, and it's really like, okay. I was thinking, give me my.
no, I think it's. I think we're just pick everyone. Like, all of these are similar, but we're worded this way. And so. It's just.
How many days?
It's all my stuff.
I need to figure out.
You can always.
That's how. We got it a limited service.
Oh, it's just not that.
Maybe.
Yeah. But.
I'm also reading the library.
I will get you. Bye.
Good night.
Council meeting, wearing something, you know, like, like rock hands.
But
Children that don't come to the.
Wanted to serve us at the city hall. But you better get it in.
Could you edit it?
That's
Whatever.
not- so I just wanted to-
It should put on your personally comfortable way. I just felt like there was certain local things that I have